She will never admit this out loud, but the moment a man becomes predictable, something inside her quietly switches off. Not her interest at first, not even her attraction, but that deeper, more dangerous layer, the one that turns curiosity into obsession, disappears without warning. Here's the part most men get wrong. They think attraction is built through consistency, reassurance, and effort. So they over-explain, they overgive, they become easy to understand. And in doing that, they kill the very tension that keeps her mind coming back to them. Because the truth is far less comfortable and far more powerful. A woman is not drawn to what she fully understands. She's drawn to what she can't quite solve. Think about it. Why do people get addicted to games of chance, to unpredictable rewards, to outcomes they can't control? It's not logic, it's neurochemistry, and the same mechanism applies here. What you're about to learn isn't dating advice in the traditional sense. It's a shift in how you position yourself inside her mind. A psychological framework that replaces approval-seeking behavior with controlled unpredictability. The very trigger that creates emotional fixation. We're going to break down 7 pleasure switches. Not physical, not obvious, but deeply wired into the feminine subconscious. And when activated, they don't just create attraction. They create anticipation, tension, and in some cases, obsession. The kind that makes her check her phone more than she should. Replay your last conversation in her head. Wonder at 3 a.m. why you haven't reached out. But understand this before we go further. Once you flip these switches, the dynamic changes. You stop chasing clarity, and you become the question she can't quite answer. And that comes with its own weight. The modern woman isn't starving for attention. She's suffocating in it. Open any social app, scroll for 10 seconds. You'll see it. Hundreds of men lining up to hand over their validation like loose change. She posts a photo, and instantly she's flooded. Compliments, reactions, desperation disguised as admiration. By the time you meet her, she's already been chemically rewarded all day. So let me ask you something. If you walk into a room where everyone is shouting, what happens to the man who speaks softly? He becomes the one people lean in to hear. Most men don't understand this. They think attraction is about adding more compliments, more effort, more reassurance. But what if the real power comes from subtraction? I learned this the hard way. There was a girl I once knew, the kind that didn't just get attention, she expected it. Every guy around her played the same script, laughing too fast, complimenting too much, trying too hard, and I watched it happen in real time. The moment a man gave her everything, she lost interest just as fast. Not because she was broken, but because there was nothing left to chase. That's when it clicked. Obsession doesn't grow in abundance. It grows in absence. The brain doesn't crave what it already owns. It craves what it might lose or never fully have. And that's where the first switch comes in. Active neutrality. This is where most men fail. Because it feels wrong at first. It goes against every instinct you've been conditioned to follow. She dresses up, clearly expecting a reaction. The average man rushes in. You look beautiful, safe, predictable, forgettable. But you pause, not awkwardly, not nervously, calm, controlled, observing. 3 seconds of silence. And then you say, almost casually, "You look like you're about to cause problems tonight." Now think about what just happened. You didn't validate her. You reframed her. You stepped out of the crowd and into a different category entirely. Because beautiful is currency she collects daily. But intrigue, challenge, uncertainty, that's rare. And rare things get remembered. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. You're going to have to stop feeding an ego that's already overfed. That means when she says something that isn't funny, you don't perform. No forced laughter, no overreaction, just a slight smirk. Eye contact. Let the moment breathe. When she fishes for validation, you don't bite. You let the silence sit there. And yeah, at first it feels brutal, because you've been trained to please, to smooth things over, to be liked. But understand this, every time you give cheap validation, you lower your perceived value. You become predictable, and predictability kills tension. But when you hold back, you create something far more powerful, a gap, a space in her mind that wasn't there before. And the human brain hates empty space. It will do anything to fill it. She starts leaning in more, trying harder, dressing sharper, touching you just a little longer than necessary, not because she's in love, but because her brain is chasing something it hasn't fully secured. You've turned yourself into a variable. And here's the part most men will never understand. You don't need to dominate the room. You just need to become the one thing in it that doesn't behave like the rest. You become the only slot machine that doesn't pay out every time. And suddenly, you're the one everyone wants to play. Now let's go deeper. Certainty feels good on the surface, but underneath, it kills desire. The moment she knows exactly where she stands with you, exactly how much you like her, exactly what comes next, the tension collapses. It turns into something comfortable, predictable, safe, and safe doesn't keep her up at night. Obsession lives in uncertainty. Which brings us to the second switch, the semantic gap. This is where you stop giving complete answers, because the mind is wired to close loops. You've felt it before. Someone starts a story, then stops halfway, and suddenly you need to know how it ends. That itch, that tension, that's what you're creating. Because the moment you say, "I really like you," the loop closes. Tension gone, mystery gone, game over. But when you stay in the gray area, everything changes. She asks, "What are we?" Now this is where most men collapse. They panic. They over-explain. They confess everything. They think honesty will secure her. But what it actually does is remove all intrigue. The man who understands the game, he doesn't rush to define it. He smiles, almost like he knows something she doesn't, and says, "We're two people, seeing if the chaos makes sense." And then he leaves it there. No clarification, no follow-up. Now she's left alone with it. What does that even mean? Is he serious? Is he testing me? She goes home, and you're still there. Not physically, mentally. She replays your words, reanalyzes your tone, reads between lines that may not even exist. She calls her friends. They break down your message like it's a coded signal. And while you're living your life, she's investing energy into understanding you. And here's the truth most people miss. We don't obsess over what's easy. We obsess over what we can't fully figure out. So stop trying to be understood. Be the puzzle. Now here's where it gets even more uncomfortable, because this next part will go against everything you've been taught. You've been told that to keep a woman, you say yes. Yes to her plans. Yes to her pace. Yes to whatever keeps things smooth. But the part of her that actually evaluates your value, it's not impressed by compliance. It's scanning for strength. And strength shows up in one simple way, your ability to say no. Not aggressively, not emotionally, but calmly, without hesitation. Because a man who cannot say no is a man with no boundaries, and a man with no boundaries is predictable. And predictable men, they don't get obsession, they get replaced. Switch 3 is where most men break. Not because it's complicated, but because it goes directly against their instincts. This is the biological veto. And if you've never done this before, it will feel almost unnatural. Picture this. Things are escalating. You can feel it. She can feel it. The energy shifts. The distance closes. Her body language changes. Her voice softens. You know exactly where this is going, and so does she. Now here's the moment that separates you from every other man she's ever been with. Most guys rush. They've been waiting for this. They don't want to mess it up, so they follow the script all the way through. But you stop, right there. You pull back slightly. Look her in the eyes, hold it for a second longer than necessary, and you say, calm, controlled, almost detached, "Not yet. I want to enjoy this properly. Now pay attention to what just happened." You didn't reject her, but you didn't give her what she expected either. And that's where the shift happens. Because she's not used to that. She's used to men who accelerate, men who grab, men who chase, men who are grateful just to be there. You just showed her something else entirely. Restraint, control, power over your own impulses. And whether she consciously realizes it or not, that hits something deep. I remember a moment like this. A girl literally paused, looked at me like I'd broken the rules of reality. You could see the confusion in her eyes, not anger, not rejection, something sharper, curiosity mixed with frustration. And then something else started to build. Desire, but with an edge to it. Because now it wasn't guaranteed anymore. That's the key. The moment something is no longer guaranteed, it becomes valuable again. You create tension. And tension, when it's controlled, turns into obsession. She starts leaning in more, testing you, pushing, not because she needs you, but because now she needs to win. And that's the flip. You're no longer trying to get her. She's trying to unlock you. Now let's go even deeper. Because this next switch operates in a way most men completely misunderstand. Humans are wired for comparison. We don't just want something because it's valuable. We want it more when other people want it too. You've seen this before. Two men ignore a woman, she's just there. Two men compete for her, suddenly she's magnetic. Same woman, different perception. Now reverse that. Most men, when they finally get a woman's attention, make a fatal mistake. They isolate themselves. They cut off the world and say, "I only see you." They think it's loyalty. They think it's romantic. But what she feels is something else. No pressure, no competition, no urgency. And when there's no urgency, desire relaxes. And when desire relaxes, obsession dies quietly. This is where switch 4 comes in, the triangular shadow. And no, this is not about cheating. This is not about lying. This is about something far more subtle and far more effective. It's about never letting her forget that you are a man other women notice. Not through words, through presence, through behavior, through small, almost invisible signals. It's the message you glance at and don't explain. It's the way you talk about another woman's idea, not flirtatiously, but with genuine respect. It's the way you interact with the world, and the world responds back. I saw this play out once in the simplest way. We were sitting at a restaurant, nothing dramatic, no flirting, no games, but the waitress came over, smiled a little longer than usual, engaged just a bit more. I didn't react, I didn't lean into it, I just stayed the same, but I felt it. The shift next to me, subtle, but real. Her posture changed, her attention sharpened, she leaned in more, because now there was something unspoken in the air. Competition. Not loud, not explicit, just a shadow. And that shadow does something primal. It activates mate guarding, a deep biological response that says, this man is valuable and others see it too. And when that switch flips, her investment increases. Not because you told her to, because her instincts pushed her to. Understand this clearly. You never say, women want me. That's weak. That's insecurity trying to sound like confidence. You don't announce value. You embody it and let her discover it. Let her notice the looks. Let her connect the dots. And most importantly, don't apologize for it. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. There's a razor-thin line between anxiety and attraction. Physically, they're almost identical. Heart rate increases, breathing changes, focus narrows. The average man tries to remove all tension. He wants her to feel safe at all times, so he smooths everything out. No uncertainty, no edge, no friction. And what he becomes is predictable, comfortable, forgettable. He becomes a sedative, But the man who understands this, he doesn't eliminate tension. He controls it. He knows that without a little pressure, without a little uncertainty, there is no spark. And without that spark, nothing burns. Switch 5 is where things start to get uncomfortable, even for you, because now you're not just holding back, you're disrupting her emotional rhythm. This is the cortisol spike. And no, this isn't about fear in the way weak men think. No intimidation, no aggression. That's low level. This is quieter, more psychological. It's the fear of losing something that hasn't even been secured yet. The fear that maybe, just maybe, you're slipping away. Let me make this real for you. Think about your own behavior for a second. When you like a woman, what do? You become consistent, predictable, safe, good morning texts at the same time, replies within minutes, always available. You think you're building comfort. What you're actually building is certainty, and certainty kills tension. Now flip it. Same pattern, same energy, but one day you disappear. No good morning, no explanation. Hours go by, and here's the key. You don't replace that silence with coldness. You come back, warm, calm, grounded, like nothing happened. You don't explain the gap. You don't apologize. You don't even acknowledge it. But in those hours, her mind was running, and you know exactly how that feels, because you've been on that side before. Did I say something wrong? Is he pulling away? Is there someone else? That's cortisol, raw, unfiltered. And when your message finally comes in, relief hits, hard, and that relief releases dopamine. Now you've created a loop. Tension, release, pleasure, again and again. That's the same cycle casinos use. It's the same mechanism behind addiction. And most men completely destroy it by being predictable. Always there, always the same, easy to replace. But you become something else entirely. You become like the ocean, sometimes calm, sometimes distant, sometimes intense, but never fully predictable. And that unpredictability keeps her locked in. Now we go deeper, because everything up to this point is surface level compared to what comes next. This switch doesn't just affect her emotions, it hits her identity. Every woman you meet is performing something. The good girl, the wild one, the independent boss, different masks, same function, protection. And most men, they fall in love with the mask. They reward it. They validate it. They never question it. Which means they never actually see her. Switch 6 is the identity fracture. And this one requires precision, observation. You have to pay attention to what doesn't match. I'll give you an example. You're with a girl. She's loud, social, always the center of attention, laughing, drinking, performing. Every guy around her is reacting to the show, but you don't. You watch. And then at the right moment, you lean in slightly, lower your voice and say something she doesn't expect. It must be exhausting. She pauses, confused. What do you mean? And you hold eye contact, keeping everyone entertained so they don't lose interest. Silence. And in that silence, something cracks. Because for the first time, someone didn't buy the performance. You went past it. You spoke directly to what's underneath. That insecurity she hides, that pressure she carries. And now she feels something rare, exposure. But not in a threatening way, in a relieving way. Like someone finally saw her without her having to explain herself. That feeling is addictive because it almost never happens. Most people interact with the surface. You just went backstage, and once that door opens, it's hard to close. She starts dropping the act around you. She softens, she reveals more. Not because you asked, because she feels understood. And here's the dangerous part. When a woman feels like you understand her better than anyone else, she starts attaching that feeling to you. You're no longer just a man. You become a mirror, And people don't walk away from mirrors that show them something real. They come back to them again and again and again. Now look at the bigger picture. Most men today are reactive. They move based on her mood, her tone, her approval. Where do you want to go? What do you feel like doing? Are you okay? Did I do something? They bend, adjust, chase emotional stability, and in doing that they lose their center. But a woman cannot anchor herself to something that moves that easily. She can't obsess over a man who is waiting for instructions. She doesn't need another variable. She needs something fixed, something grounded, something that doesn't shift every time her emotions do. She doesn't need a leaf. She needs a tree, something that stands still while everything else moves around it. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know which one you've been. Switch 7 is where the mask comes off. Not hers, yours. Because everything I've shown you so far, you can fake for a while. You can control your words. You can delay a text. You can hold eye contact a little longer than usual. But this, you can't fake this one. This is the absolute axis. And it has nothing to do with being dominant in the loud, performative way most men think. It's quieter than that. Heavier. It's about having a direction in your life that does not bend even when she does. Read that again. Your mission, your purpose, your code. If those things sit below her emotions, you've already lost. And most men lose here. Not because they're stupid, because they're afraid. Afraid to lose her, afraid to upset her, afraid to stand firm and watch her walk away. So what do? They adjust. She gets moody. They soften. She pulls away. They chase. She tests. They fold. And every time they do that, something inside her shifts. Not towards love, away from respect. I've seen this play out more times than I can count. A guy starts strong, rounded, centered. Then slowly, he starts negotiating himself away. Little by little, until one day, he's asking for permission to be himself. And she feels it. She may not say it, but she feels it. This man can be moved. And the moment she knows she can move you, she stops needing you. Now flip the frame. She brings chaos, emotion, pressure, tests. And you don't react. You don't escalate. You don't withdraw either. You stay exactly where you are, calm, present, unshaken, not cold, not distant, just immovable. And here's the paradox most men can't grasp. That's when she feels safe. Not when you agree with her, not when you comfort her into stability, but when she realizes you cannot be pulled out of yours. That's the kind of safety that creates excitement. Because now she's dealing with something real, something solid, something she can lean on but not control. And that's where respect is born. And whether people want to admit it or not, for a woman, respect is the doorway to desire, not the other way around. She doesn't fully surrender to a man she can manipulate. She tests him, pushes him, tries to find the edges. And if there are no edges, she keeps pushing until she loses interest. But if she hits something solid, something that doesn't break, doesn't move, doesn't perform for her approval, she stops pushing and she starts leaning in. That's the shift. You are no longer orbiting her, she's orbiting you. You are the axis. Everything else moves around that. Now step back and look at what you've just built. This isn't a trick, it's a system. The void made her hungry. The gap made her think. The veto made her chase. The shadow made her compete. The spike made her feel. The fracture made her open. The axis makes her stay. Individually, they work together. They change the entire dynamic. You're no longer playing the same game as other men. They're trying to impress her. You're reshaping how she experiences you. There's a difference, a massive one. But here's the part no one talks about, the cost. Because this version of you, it requires something most men are not willing to do. You have to kill the part of you that needs her approval. Not reduce it, not manage it, kill it. Because if even a part of you is still seeking validation, she will feel it, and the entire structure collapses. You cannot act like the prize. If internally you still feel like the option, that shift has to happen first, internally, silently. No one claps for it, no one sees it, but she feels it, in the way you speak, in what you tolerate, in what you walk away from, especially in what you walk away from. Because the man who is willing to leave is the only man who is ever truly chosen. So here's what I want you to do. Not everything, just one. Pick one switch. Maybe it's the void. Stop over-validating. Watch what happens. Maybe it's the veto. Pull back at the moment she expects you to push forward. Watch her reaction. Really watch it. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start noticing patterns. You'll start realizing that everything you were told to do, be nice, be available, be agreeable, wasn't making you attractive. It was making you replaceable. And there's something darkly liberating about that realization. Because now you see the machine, how it works, what actually moves people. But understand this, power without control destroys. And what you're building here, it's power, real psychological leverage. So don't play with it if you're not ready to handle what comes with it. Because when it works hard. There is one more layer above all of this, a master switch, the one that locks everything in place. The reason some connections feel impossible to break, even when they should be, most people experience it in toxic dynamics. They don't understand it, they just feel trapped. But used correctly, it creates something else entirely. Something stable, something deep, something that doesn't fade the moment. Emotions fluctuate, but you're not ready for that yet. Not if you haven't mastered the first 7. Because in the wrong hands, it becomes manipulation, and that always collapses eventually. So for now, master the silence, master your restraint, master your center. Before you go, understand this, what you've learned here. This is only the surface layer, because there's a test, one she gives without even realizing it. Not with her words, not directly, but in her behavior, a subtle moment where she watches how you respond. And in that moment, she decides something permanent, whether you're temporary or irreplaceable. In the next video, I'm going to break that down step by step, the exact test, how it shows up, and why most men fail it without ever knowing it even happened. If you think you understand the game now, wait until you see that. Now listen carefully. That's the next video, the one coming, but for now, you don't need to wait. There's a video on your screen right now that connects directly to what you just learned. If this opened your eyes, that one will go even deeper. Click it, watch it all the way through, because every piece builds on the last, and the men who understand the full picture, they don't compete. They dominate quietly. If you got value from this, subscribe, leave a like, and drop axis in the comments if you're done playing on the surface. Most men will never understand the game, but you do. I'll see you among the few.